All right, welcome to this training module. As you can see, we're going to be going over a lot of content on stealth persuasion. This is all about how you can make the asset managers, the homeowners, and even private money investors obey your every command. And right now, I have a special guest that is actually going to be doing this training module with me, Nathan Jurwitz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Jason. Doing amazing. I'm excited about this training because I just recently had just breakthrough. I've done real estate and I've done internet marketing, and let me just make clear: I don't buy and sell notes um, at all. So, I'm not claiming that I do. I've got my hands in too many other cookie jars. But as soon as Jason saw me, showed me what he was doing with note buying and showed me how he was buying one-offs, I'm like, dude, I got to be a part of this. So I helped him put the marketing together. That is one of the reasons why you're enrolled and bought this program. Okay, because I've just recently, realized that I understand how people interact and how to get people to take action and do what you want. And I didn't really understand how I was doing it, and now I've kind of figured it out. But before we do that, Jason, I need you to show everyone your movie guy voice, because I know that you don't really, open up, and you don't really show your movie guy voice, but I need to hear it, and I think the rest of the people need to hear it also.
All right, I'm gonna do the title and then I'm gonna say who's doing it. Okay, so
Okay, actually, pretend like you're the movie guy voice. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, pretend that you're doing the movie guy voice, and you're about to introduce me all over again. Okay, let's do that.
okay,
Okay,
ready?
all right,
All right.
go.
One man, one desire, leopard print hair, and stealth persuasion. Nathan Jurwitz is the guy that knows how to persuade anybody.
To
What?
do anything.
Oh, to
I
to,
mean, you gotta let me hang it. Okay,
to do anything.
to do anything. Okay, now people are like, "Oh my God!" There's people at home right now. They're like, "Oh my gosh! I thought this is a serious training call. I'm offended," and they're like pissed off. They're writing a letter. They're probably emailing Jason right now for a refund. But I asked Jason to do that for a point. You know what we just did there, guys? We did a pattern interrupt. We did something so that you kind of like woke up and like, why are they doing this? Are you serious? Is this some type of joke? I don't get it. And we'll talk more about that a little bit in a second. Here's a famous quote from one of my mentors. Okay, um, it's from Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. Okay, so if you're a Star Wars geek, if you see Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, Luke is he's he doesn't believe that he can use the Force to get his ship out of the swamp, and he says, "I'll try," and Yoda stops him and says, "Do or do not. There is no try." And then Luke goes and still has the wrong mindset and fails, and Yoda goes out there and makes it happen. So, because of that, and I'm a Star Wars geek, but this is just as an example. I actually have a full. Let me show you guys. I actually have a full size Yoda in my living room, partially because it's a pattern interrupt. So if you come to my house, you'll never forget me. But secondly, because um, it's a reminder to do or do not. There is no try. And I know Star Wars is just a story and it's not real, but there's a lot of hidden meanings in that series that most people aren't even aware of. Okay? So let's talk about the stuff. You guys are like, okay, well, yeah, I get that. I got the right mindset, whatever. But Nathan and Jason, I want you to show me how to do, note how to flip notes, how to get in contact with asset managers, and Jason's going to do that in the modules in the program that he's put together, and he's done an awesome job to do that. But let's just talk about the skill sets necessary to have a real note flipping business. We got negotiate, finding cash buyers, raise it, private funding. Not in every case, because Jason has a way to where you can just assign the note without raising private funds. But for some deals, you make more money, and it makes more sense to fund it out yourself. Acquisitions, business communication skills, closing transactions, marketing for new business, persistence and follow-up, relationships building skills, understanding real markets, understanding finance, creating real strategies, and probably much, much more. And all that stuff is the stuff. It's the stuff in the course. But you know what happens? What most people do is they get this course with this big box of stuff, or this membership site full of stuff, and all this content is good and all this content's great, and then what happens? They sit there and then they just kind of go, their mind goes blank, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, shit, you mean I actually have to like contact an asset manager and get them to like me? Like, here's what most people will probably do. Most people will probably email an asset manager and be like, hey, I want to work with you. Will you please work with me? And they beg. By doing that, you've already demonstrated lower value than them. And people of higher value don't want to do business with people of lower value. I'm not an elitist or anything like that, and I want you to think that. I'm just explaining to you how the world actually works. Okay? So, for example, Jason's one of my former Short Sales Riches students. Okay? I will get like sob story emails from people asking me to help them. And the problem is I can't help them because they already have the wrong mindset. Jason purchased my course, used it, closed a deal, and then sent me a video testimonial without me even asking him to do so. And from then on, we became really good friends, and I helped him with his real estate business. And I've since learned a lot about real estate that he's taught me that I didn't know about. He really, real estate wise, he absolutely blows me away. And now I'm helping him with his internet business. Okay, it's all the same thing. So I don't want you to get too much caught up in the stuff. And also, I don't want you to think I'm some like personal development tree hugger, like just think about it and it'll just happen, because that's not true either. And this is going to make a little bit more sense in a bit. So the big takeaway about this stuff is you have to learn about each one of these skill sets to eventually be able to intelligently be able to outsource all the stuff that you hate doing. Focus on what you're good at. And if you want to start at the top, you have to be resourceful, help the people around you, and you must be extremely likable, okay? So going back to this presentation, when I started messing around and showing you pictures of Yoda in my house and asking Jason to do the movie guy voice when he wasn't even really prepared for that, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to be likable, okay? And you know what's going to happen? It's probably going to piss some people off and it's going to offend them, and that's okay, but I'm not trying to reach them. I'm trying to build a stronger relationship with the people that would think that that's kind of funny. Jason, you still with me? Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Okay, so you have to figure out a way to be likable. People don't like hanging around with people that are always talking negative. Okay? I'm not saying, oh, well, if you just talk about the stuff in your life and how bad it is that you're sending out to the universe and bad things is going to happen. Well, that may or may not be true. I don't know. I mean, some people here are religious, some people are atheists, some people are maybe the personal development tree huggers, and that's all fine. But to be more practical, if you are talking like negative and you're spending all this negativity, not only are you not likable, but people of influence, people that are successful, won't want to hang around you. Okay, it's real. Successful people won't want to hang out around you, and unsuccessful that love to bring more problems and talk about their stuff will. So you really are just bringing negativity on your life. So I guess the law of attraction really is true if you think about it from a practical sense. Okay. So let me tell you my story. I've got a bunch of pictures up on. I really just threw this presentation together and I did this for Jason. Um, I've got some pictures of some like life-changing stuff that's happened in my life, and it's not because I was just thinking about stuff or I was trying to connect with people. It's because I didn't even realize I was a person of influence without even really realizing it. Back in 2000, December of 2007, the market had crashed. I had just sold my house. Um, I had short sold my own house. I had less than $5,000 in the bank, and I needed a new, fresh start. So if you see on the left, there's a picture of a high-end condo high-rise. Okay, that a friend of mine said, you really got to move to this place. It's called Grand Central at Kennedy. Okay, so you need to the market just crashed. The builder's trying to rent out the units. Okay, so what you need to do is, I bet you, you could probably get a decent deal. And I thought, well, if the builder's trying to rent out the units and the people that purchased the condos that are stuck with the condos that were speculators purchase are not, they can't resell them. They're going to be cutting each other's throats. So maybe I can get a good deal on a rental. So what I was trying to get, a condo, like a 12 to 1500 square foot condo that would have cost probably $2,000 a month. Okay. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get one for 12 to 1500 because at that time that was my price range. I'm just going to make it happen. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to make it happen, okay? So I declared it. Okay, write that down. I declared it. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, you have to say it, because if you say it, then the magical powers of the universe will kick in and it'll just happen. No, you know why you say it? It's because if you tell your friends and you tell your spouse that you're going to actually do it and you have the balls to actually say that, that's going to hold you accountable. So it's going to be like, Jesus, if I don't do this, everyone around me is going to think that I'm crying wolf, that I'm not really going to accomplish it. So I really want to get you to where you really are uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. Some people are like, well, geez, I can't do that, because if I fail, then what? Well, that's the difference between the people that succeed and the people that don't, okay? So you have to declare it. You have to say you're going to do this. So I just told my friends, I'm going to move to this place. The condo building's called Grand Central at Kennedy. I'm going to make it happen. It's going to happen. Okay? I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. People are like, you're crazy. I'm like, just watch me. It's going to happen. Okay? So then I moved. So then what I did is I went to the Grand Central sales office where the builder was renting them out. Went up to them and I said to them, okay, what do you got? Show me some units. They showed me some units. Okay, I want this one, but I want it for $1,200 a month. They said, no, kid, get out of here. It's not going to happen. It's not negotiable. So, then I'm like, all right, well, I can't give up just yet. Well, maybe. So then I thought, okay, well, maybe if I get on the MLS and I make offers to the people that bought the house that listed it for rent by a real estate agent, maybe I can just make a lowball offer and they'll just take it. So I did that, and guess what happened? They all said no. They said, no, that's not the price. And keep in mind, it doesn't even make sense that they're saying no, because these rental units have been on the market for 90 to 180 days. Now, how did I know how to do that? How did I know how to make an offer on the MLS? Well, it's from the stuff that I learned at a real estate seminar, the stuff that's in Jason's program. So you need that stuff. If you want to be a doctor, unfortunately, you can't manifest your way into being a doctor. You have to go to medical school and you have to learn the stuff. Okay? Same thing applies here. You have to do it. So you need this stuff. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me try the same thing, but this time with Craigslist. Maybe there's some people that listed it on Craigslist, and maybe I'll make some offers there. Maybe there's some of the realtors where they're not on the MLS. So I did that, called a bunch of people, made a bunch of verbal offers. They all said no. Okay, so Jason, from your experience, what would most people do?
Well,
at this point?
A lot of people would give up. A lot of people would give up.
A lot of people would give up, and then make an excuse. You know what they would say? They would say something. Well, I made an offer. Oh, I did. I tried. I made an offer off the MLS like society told me to, they said no. So I tried. Oh, I tried. Same thing goes for, oh, I went to college and I went into the employment section and I tried to get a good job, and they all said no. Okay, they didn't think outside of the box, and they didn't use their influence of people around them. Okay, and then they made an excuse. The people that are protesting about who knows what Wall Street, what I don't even know what they're protesting. They don't even know what they're protesting. Okay, they have no idea what they're. Oh, we try to get a job. It's the big evil corporations. You know what we call those people? We call them pikers. Okay, and you know what? It's not the piker's fault that they're pikers. They're not aware that they're a piker. Okay? So, and it's because and I feel bad for them because the way that society has raised us to think is that you're going to get the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 blueprints, and then you're going to be successful. Society tells us if we go to college and we get a safe, secure job, we're going to get a safe, secure job and we're going to be successful. Reality is that's not necessarily true. Now, I didn't go to college, but I'm not saying college is a bad thing. I think it can be really, really good to network and to build strong relationships with really motivated, driven people. Because think about it, you're hanging around a bunch of people that just dropped $25,000 to learn from people that don't even make money in the real world. You got some serious accountability, so you're more likely to succeed. And I think that's great. But you have to make sure that you don't, that you're held accountable. So I'm getting a little bit off track. But it's not the piker's fault that they're a piker until the day that they hear a story like I just heard and are made aware. And they're like, oh, my God, that makes so much sense. I'm a piker. Okay? Once you realize that you're a piker, from that moment forward, there is no excuses. Okay? There's no turning back. So, sorry, guys. Half of the people that are listening to this module just realize that they're a piker, and 30% of the people that are watching this are like, oh yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about, and I think this is awesome. And 20% of the people are thinking, no, but my situation's different. Okay? And here's why. Okay, so for you still don't get this. So you can continue to be a piker. Okay? So let me continue with the story. So then I'm thinking, okay, here's what I need to do. I need to get in contact with the owners that haven't marketed on Craigslist, that bought the house, the condo, that are stuck with it, and haven't listed it with a real estate agent. So where can I find that? I know. I learned in a seminar how to look up this stuff on the property appraiser from the stuff. Okay? So I'm just going to type in on the Hillsborough County Property Appraiser the address. So I type in the address, 1208 East Kennedy Boulevard. And what happens? It's not new. It's not it's not there. And it was not there because the building was brand new. It was so new that it was assessed still as raw land. So the address hadn't been put on file yet. So I'm like, okay, well now what? Okay, well I know that I'm pretty sure that the Grand Central is not just going to give me their list of buyers. So maybe if I get in the clerk's website, that's like the website where you do like title searches. And if I get on the MLS and look up one of the owner's name, because if you're familiar with real estate, sometimes they got the owner name on the MLS, and then I run a search for their name, I can cross-reference that in the clerk's website and figure out who their deed was cross-referenced with, where the transfer came from, and that will give me the name that sold all the units, because it's probably the same person. So I do that. And I so let's say I found, let's say that some guy, let's say Jason Lucchese was the name that purchased one of the condos. I would type in Jason Lucchese, run a deed search, and I learned how to do this in a seminar, by the way, from the stuff. That's why, because you have to have that type of information to do that. And it was cross-referenced with the name Grand Central at Kennedy LLC. I'm like, aha, run a search for Grand Central at Kennedy LLC. And 190 records pop up. So here's the owners. So then what do? Well, then I took those names and plugged those names back into the property appraiser, and it shows that they own a piece of raw land and what their tax address was, and most of these buyers were out of state. But even though it was a raw piece of land, I knew what it really was. I knew it really was a condo. And where did I learn how to do this? I learned how to do it from a real estate seminar, because you have to have that kind of education, the type of stuff Jason teaches, right? So then I took that name and that address, and rather than direct mail them, I plugged them into a skip tracing software that I learned about through a real estate seminar called Accurant.com. It's a good resource if you ever want to track down people. Here's a good little some stuff. Accurant.com, ACCURINT, Accurant.com, and it's difficult to sign up for, but that gives you like access to information that detectives use, that private eyes use. It's really good. So then I started calling all these people. And I said, are you renting? Are you renting? Are you renting? Some said no. Some said yes. Some said maybe. Some said, well, it's this much. I already rented it. Whatever. Got mixed results. Didn't get anywhere. Called people for 33 hours, left voicemails. The next day, I get a call from one guy. And this guy says, hey, Nathan, what's up? My name's Joe. I got your voicemail. Yes, the place is for rent. And I said, really? Which place is it? He says it's the biggest and best unit. This is the Chartreuse, 2,186 square feet. I said, really? I said, what are you looking to rent it for? He said, 3,000 a month. And I said, you know what? That's out of my price range. And he was priced right. The builder was renting that same unit for $3,200 a month. And I was just honest with him. I didn't try to trick him. I said, you know what, man? It's out of my price range right now. It's 12 to 1,500, a month is what my price range is. I'm sure you could probably get more than that. So you might want to just list it with a realtor. I'm more than happy to hook you up with someone because I don't do rentals because at the time I was a real estate agent. But I got to tell you, man, right now there's listings that are just sitting on the market for 90 to 180 days because the owners that bought them and the builder are cutting each other's throats. So, good luck to you. And you know what he said? Here's the defining moment. You know what, man? I just got to get someone in there. I'll give it to you for $1,500 a month. Jason, you still with me?
I'm still, I'm still trying to process how he was able to do that for you. I'm definitely still here, and I've been to your place quite a few times, and $1,500 a month is pretty crazy.
Right. So then I I I moved in and I started, the market had just crashed. I'd been doing real estate for 3 years, so the market had crashed. And I was doing like traditional, like wholesaling and rehab flips and stuff like that. And at the time, the market had crashed. I'm like, you know what? I got to figure out how to do short sales. I have to do this. So I, started figuring it out. Started building up my pipeline of 30 or 40 deals over the next, 3 months. And then on the second floor of that building was a Keller Williams office. So I walked downstairs, and rather than walking into the Keller Williams office like some douchebag and saying, "Hey, I'm an investor, you should work with me," I went through a side door, okay? I went to the mortgage company's office and I said, "Hey, do you do short sale flips, seasoning type deals? Because I think I can help you with that. I got leads for you." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, well, I got a deal right now. Can you start working on this?" He's like, "Yeah." And then I said, "By the way, can you introduce me to that guy right there?" And he's like, "Sure. Hey, Jason, meet this guy Nathan." And and then this was actually he actually introduced me after we started working together. It's like Nathan knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing. So I started talking to Jason. We started working together. He introduced me to another real estate agent in there. We started working together. They introduced me to another real estate agent in there. We started working together. I built my short sale pipeline up to 100 deals, and then one month did $118,000 in 1 month. Okay, I'm providing value. These are the only real estate agents that are closing almost every single short sale that they're doing. And then they're like, "You know what? You need to meet our owner, Chris McLaughlin. He's an attorney, and he knows a lot about short sales. You should meet." So Chris calls me and wants to take me to lunch. I've already provided value to his agents. He takes me to lunch. He asked me how I'm doing this. I broke down my entire system. And this is all stuff I learned in real estate seminars, by the way. And then he's like, "Well, come speak at my event. I'm teaching real estate agents how to do short sales, and maybe we could do an investor product together," or something like that. I'm like, "Okay." He speaks the whole day, brings me up at the end, and we proceed to sell a product that didn't even exist at the end, and that product is called Short Sales Riches. Chris then realized that he needed me. I said, "I know you need me, but I know I need you also because I don't know anything about this internet stuff." and we partnered up, started, shortsalesriches.com, and did $5 million our first year online. Now, why did all that happen? It's because I wasn't a piker and didn't just be like, oh, I forgot. Oh, I made an offer and tried. I guess I'll just go crawl up in my hole. I had the right mindset. Okay? That's the only reason why it happened. People like hanging around people that are of influence, that provide value, and have a positive mindset. Actually, that's not true. Only successful people like hanging around people like that. Successful people don't. So what's the second big takeaway? Having the stuff is necessary, but it only makes up about 10% of the reason why you succeed. Being able to network, influence, get people to like you, want to work with you is the reason why you can start at the top so quickly. This is why if I was to put my entire internet business, right now I'm in the social media market and the real estate market and the homeschool market. If I was to put all that on the side and I actually wanted to do note buying, I would be able to do it because I know I have this one skill. So being able to network, influence, get people to like you, want to work with you is why you can start to top so quickly. So the terms "be bold, make things happen" is a phrase that you need to constantly be playing in your mind whenever you are struggling with one obstacle in whatever you are trying to accomplish. Okay, so now I've kind of given you the whole rah-rah speech, which really isn't a rah-rah speech. Here's a story with some actual real stuff that you can apply in your own life. But this is why I said before, I hate the term blueprint. Just follow our simple 4-step blueprint and you're rich. Well, that's not true, because if that blueprint doesn't teach you how to influence the people around you, it's not going to work. And this is why people that buy programs like this one will probably 95% of them won't use it. And Jason will have a 5% success rate, but that's because the people that had the right success rate didn't have all the right stuff. They probably don't even know as much about note buying as Jason does, but they have the right mindset. They just know they're going to do it. They don't know how they're going to do it. They're just going to make it happen, and that's just it. That's how it's going to be. Okay. So why am I such a good influencer? Okay. I actually have no idea why people remember me. I'm just kidding. I mean, I have leopard print hair, but back in the day, that whole story, I didn't have leopard print hair back then. Okay. So you have to have some type of pattern interrupt. So everyone that I talk to remembers me, okay? It doesn't have to be as extreme as leopard print hair. It could be something small. It could be something that you wear. It could be like a metal business card. It could be a business card that's half the size of a normal business card, a business card that's twice the size of a regular business card. Why does, why, let me go back here. Why on this picture, right, oops. Back. Okay. The picture in the top right-hand corner has a picture of a devil and an angel with a picture of me in the top right-hand corner. Do you think I do that just to be silly? Well, yeah, I kind of do. But I have that as my Facebook profile picture because people will never forget that, ever. They just won't. It's just not going to happen. Okay? You have to pattern interrupt, okay? If you really want to influence people and have things just magnetized toward you, that's what you have to do, okay? Everyone I talk to remembers me, and it's different for everyone, okay? It's not the same, okay, for everyone. So I'm not saying go get leopard print hair. Actually, don't get leopard print hair. I got that stuff. I got the copyright on that, all right? I introduce people to other people when it has absolutely no personal or financial gain for myself whatsoever. Jason, who hooked you up with your web guy?
You did.
Okay. Who hooked you up with the guy that created your logo?
You did.
Okay. What other resources have I given you?
Oh, gosh. A lot.
Okay.
Probably too much just to pinpoint all by itself.
Okay. And here's the thing. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I just kind of thought that's what everyone did. And what ends up happening is you get guys like Jason that come to me and, want to pay me for consulting, and now I get a small piece of a lot of the courses he's sold. That's just an example, but this applies to anything, okay? I build up people's ego without even realizing it when I'm networking. My endorsement gets people to actually do business with them. So if I an example in the internet space, if I were to call up someone that's got a big email list that's selling real estate courses, and I say, hey, dude, you got to promote Jason's stuff. He's the real deal. He flipped 60 notes in the last 12 months, and it converts well, and it's awesome. Make it happen. Just because it had my endorsement rather than Jason calling him up and telling how awesome he is, it's completely different. If Jason says, "Hey, dude, I'm awesome. I'm the man. You should promote my stuff," he comes across as a douche. But if I say it, it's completely different. Okay? So then what happens? What happens? So like Jason, you actually, we just had another student. We won't mention his name, um, but he's from New Jersey, and like I said, dude, you gotta. I mean, you want to be in my program, this is the price. He's like, well, I don't know what happened. You did it on your own. I didn't even ask you to do it. You called him up and you said, dude, you have to get Nathan's program. It's the best. Okay, I've learned so much from him. And then what happens? He wires me a check the next week.
Right.
So you did that without even realizing it because subconsciously you felt that you owed that to me. Okay, so how could we apply this to the note business? Okay, well, rather than figuring out, okay, I need to get in contact with this person and I need to get them to give me everything. You need to figure out who that person knows and is friends with and get them to endorse you. Or, another good idea is if you were to find the address of an asset manager that you're trying to get in contact with them, send them something in the mail and saying, hey, dude, I love what you're doing. I think it's awesome. Like, it just depends on how valuable you think the relationship is. But you could send them some chocolates and saying, hey, dude, I really like what you're doing. I think it's great that you guys are mitigating all this debt and helping people. And I'm actually writing a blog. I'm writing a post on my blog that's all about, mitigating debt and selling paper to give homeowners a fresh start. And I'd really like to interview you and pick your brain about what you do because I know that you just know more than everyone. Okay. Okay, so what do you really give a shit about the interview? Do you really care about the blog post? No. You just want to talk to them. So you talk to them, you ask them all these questions about their business and who they're mitigating notes for, and then at the end, you say something like, hey, by the way, do you have any notes in Tampa that are one-offs that I could look at? What do you think they're going to say? How big of a difference is that versus saying, hey, man, you got any notes I can buy? I'm good for it. It's completely different, okay? It's completely different, okay? This applies in every aspect of your life. The reason why people fail in internet marketing is because they don't have product ideas. It's because they don't have context. It's because they don't know everything they need to know to do it. And then what they say is like, oh, well, no one will help me. Someone please help me. Negative people. You're attracting negative people in your life, okay? You need to figure out how you can provide value, okay, to the people around you, and it will just come. I promise you it will come. So what are the top reasons why most people fail? They worry too much about the stuff and not about their network of friends and associates. They're never bold. They refuse to make things happen. We call these people pikers. We talked about pikers. And there's no accountability. They have no skin in the game, and they don't declare that they're going to do this. So Jason could have said, you know what, the Asset Manager Millions product is absolutely free. Just partner with me on all your deals. But you know what? You've got no skin in the game. So who are we going to attract? We're going to attract a bunch of pikers that are going to take action. Jason's going to have a bunch of customers that he hates that are never going to partner with him. Okay? Those are not the people we want to do business with. I'm sorry. Okay? Here's a case study. Here's my buddy Drew Canoli. Okay? He has people pay him $10,000 to tell them to drink juice. There's actually more to it than that, but why does it have a 100% success rate? Okay, he's in the fitness niche. He's got people that are trying to accomplish a goal. Why does this work? It's because of the accountability. Okay, The stuff in the program is absolutely top quality. He knows his stuff. He has you take like a metabolic test and all this like crazy, he tests your blood and looks at what your goals are and basically custom designs something that's specifically tailored for you. It costs low five figures to get in this program. It costs $10,000 to get in this program. There are no refunds. You know what types of people ask what the refund policy on a course like this is? Pikers. Oh, well, we already showed you guys 60 checks. We don't need to prove ourselves. We've already done that. You saw, I think Jason showed 55 different checks on the webinar when you bought this program. You know it freaking works, okay? A piker wants to know, oh, what's the refund policy? Because I'm going to try, and then if I fail, I'll just get a refund. That way I can feel really good about myself and then blame the guru. No, that's not how it works. We're going to give you a 30-day refund policy because we're nice guys. But if you buy something based on the refund policy, you're a piker, and you probably shouldn't even be in this program. You may want to ask for a refund, okay? The students in this program, in Drew's program, are required to make a declaration video telling all of their friends, email us, and social media following that they are going to do this and why. Okay, so they're not declaring it, and it's just some magical power that's like, oh, this is just going to make me lose weight. No, they're telling all of their friends because they've got balls, and if they don't do it, they're going to look like a real jackass to their friends. So it's going to make them do it. Now, if you're like, well, I could never do that. Well, you know what that means? That just means that you don't want this bad enough. You just don't want it bad enough. There's nothing wrong with that. It's probably not for you. Okay? So this is what the declaration video has in it. It makes a video where you answer 4 questions. What is your goal? How long have you wanted to accomplish your goal? Why haven't you been able to accomplish your goal? And why did you choose to work with Jason? Okay? So like here's a picture of Drew interviewing my friend Ryan Dice. And this is a guy that had been through several fitness workout programs and failed. He was 190 pounds and he's really short, so that's kind of a lot for him. I told him, I said, Ryan, I said, Drew Canoli's program is the best, and here's why. Because his stuff is good, because you're writing him a check for $10,000, and because you're making a video that says you're going to do it, so it's going to make you do it. And he got it immediately. He's like, all right, I'm in. Writes Drew a check. Makes a video. 60 days later, he's down to 162. Okay? This is how you make stuff happen. And it's important that you have this mindset, especially when we're in a recession. You can get away with not doing this stuff when the economy's good. Okay? But that's why it works. So your homework assignment with the FlipGam is to make a declaration video, upload it to YouTube, email it to all your friends, send it to your list, and actually, Jason, what's your Facebook? I have the wrong thing here. What's your Facebook fan page?
It's Global Fortune Solutions.
So facebook.com/Global Fortune Solutions?
Yes.
Okay. And also post it below this video. There's a inside this membership site that you're watching right now, there's comments. You can post it below there. Let's hold yourself accountable. We're not asking you to write $10,000 check, but I am asking you to step up to the plate and let's actually make stuff happen and take what I've given you and actually do it. Okay? Second homework assignment is read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That will give you a lot more of the stuff that I've talked about in this training so far. But if you learn this one skill, you can make it in any business you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's real estate. It doesn't matter if it's internet marketing. It's all in your circle of influence, and most people don't even realize it. All they're focusing on is the stuff. It's not about the stuff. It's about accountability. So, Jason, what do you think?
Just by you going over all of this information, it's like making the little hamster wheel in my head turn, and it's just like I've just kind of realized I've done a lot of this too.
And you didn't even realize you were doing it.
Exactly. Like, for instance, let me just give a quick example, especially for the people that are listening. I was using the techniques that we use in getting a hold of these asset managers, and I send out a lot of emails, and then what happened was a hedge fund manager who was actually the founding member gave my contact information to the person right below him. He called me And guys, you have to imagine these people have a portfolio of a minimum of $5 billion. But that I didn't really care about that. All I cared about was talking to the person and forming the relationship. So to make a long story short, what I did was I talked to him. I said, I tried finding out a little bit about them, and then I found out that they were not selling any of their non-performing notes. So, Nathan, you brought up a good point earlier. What would most people do in that situation if they found out if they
Oh
found
my
out? Yeah.
God. This is what they say. Oh my God, I bought Jason's course and I made one phone call and they said, no, this is a scam. I'm going to rip-off report. That's exactly what most people would do.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And the one thing that I did was I stayed on. I talked to him a little bit more, and the one thing that was triggering through my head the whole time was like, these guys have a lot of money, a lot of liquidity. So I basically was like, well, what are you guys looking for? Maybe I could help you guys out with stuff that I get that I may be able to turn over to you because we're not looking to hold on to it for long term. So he was like, yeah, you know what, Jason, that would be great. We're looking for commercial notes that are $1 million minimum or more. So what kind of relationship did I just form with somebody? I just found a cash buyer that has a portfolio of a minimum of $5 billion, and they're like, send us any deals that you have that are $1 million or more. And
Okay. So rather than what most people would have done if that was their end goal, they would have said, I've got a deal and it's over $1 million. Will you buy it, please? That's my droopy voice, by the way. Um, it just doesn't work that way, guys. That's not how the world works. It's like Jason just positioned the conversation so it's like he's doing them a favor.
right, yeah, yeah, it's definitely
And the
like
the
that.
the funny thing is the success the un you eat it's like some of the people that watch this type of training that I'm giving are like, "Oh my God, I just realized I'm a piker. Oh, I'm going to stop now." But what's funny is the people that are successful, they watch this and they're like, "Oh my God, I've been doing that this entire time and I didn't even realize I was doing that. So now I understand how to teach this to the people around me. I understand how to be a center of because people use words like center of influence and law of attraction and think, feel, become, and you got to raise your awareness and all kinds of crazy hippie shit. Okay, but the steps I just outlined, what I just told you, is really what you need. That's it.
Yeah, I I would agree 100% too. And one thing that I just kind of want to back up to is like when you were going over all of your stuff with like, the penthouse condo you have when
Yep.
when you came out with Short Sales Riches, I went through probably a lot of different programs, and I was literally down to pretty much nothing in my bank account. I had to borrow the money just to get your course, but my mindset was not even think I didn't even care about the refund policy. All I knew was I'm getting the program, and one way or another I'm going to make this work. And I did the stuff that you said, kind of not to do, and I would just kind of go into real estate offices and kind of introduce myself to these real estate agents because I was kind of new to the area. I was
If
brand
you're
new.
extremely likable, if you're an extremely likable person and you just have no fear and you've developed this skill, you can get away with walking into an office and saying, "I'm the shit, work with me." But some people aren't ready for that.
Right. No, for sure. I had different circumstances. I had a kid on the way. I just got married. We just moved back to the Indianapolis area, and I didn't have a job, and I was almost out of my 401k money. So I had to do it. There was no other avenue. It's either do it or you've got to do it. So, and I didn't want to go back to working in corporate America. I did it for pretty much all my early 20s. It sucked away pretty much most of my 20s. And I was just like, screw it, I'm going to make it happen. It's just going to happen. And that's I don't know, Nathan. That's the approach I took when I first got your course. I took a gazillion before it, but something just
But
resonated.
and 90% of the reason why you succeeded had nothing to do with my course. My course was
Right.
just the stuff because I didn't teach this mindset in the
Right.
course
No.
because I wasn't aware that I was even doing it. I didn't know to teach it.
Right.
Okay, at the time. So unfortunately, a lot of people that bought Short Sales Riches didn't succeed because I left this part out. Oops, sorry. But now I know. 90% of the reason why you succeeded was because your mindset and because it forced you to do it. Only 10% of it was because of, well, here's an option contract and find realtors and talk to them. That's that's really it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So with that being said, you guys are either going to write Jason a hate mail or you're going to comment below this video and talk about how much you love this module, and hopefully you're of that mindset. And I'm telling you guys right now, there's people watching this video right now thinking, well, my situation's different. I'm this. No, it's not different. Okay, stop telling me your problems. I don't want to hear about your problems. You're only scaring me away. I would never want to work with you because I don't hang around negative people. I'm sorry, but I just don't. If you think your situation may be worse than mine was, and it may be worse than Jason's was, but there's no way in hell that it's worse than Job's was. So if you still think that, oh, no, you're wrong, Nathan, you're wrong, Jason, get out a Bible, read the book of Job in the Old Testament, and you'll have a serious wake-up call. The guy had his whole family killed. He was sick and lost all of his riches, and the only thing he had left was his wife. And he just stayed faithful, and God gave everything back. And that's a true story, by the way. So you have to take action on. That's just how it works.
I agree 100%, Nathan. And everybody that is watching this training module right now, it's just a testament that you obviously are separating yourself from a lot of the people that are enrolled in this program. So definitely leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of this, and then obviously continue on with the rest of the training modules. But I do have to say thank you very much, Nathan, for obviously enlightening me and enlightening everybody else on our persuasion influence techniques. It's truly going to benefit everybody that's enrolled in our program, and I just want to say thank you for giving us the time and helping us put this together. We really truly appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it. All right, guys. That's it. Take care. Comb your hair. See ya.
Hello and welcome to today's special training call. This is Tom Beal, President of Strategic Profits. I'm here at our headquarters in sunny South Florida, and it's my pleasure and honor to have the one and only Brendon Burchard on the line today to share some insights with you. The topic of today's training is the #1 marketing strategy that led to my seven-figure business by Brendon Burchard. And if you haven't heard of Brendon, you must have been hiding under a rock the last few years because the guy has momentum and a trajectory unprecedented in this industry, and he is a back-to-back New York Times best-selling author of 2 books that are phenomenally awesome. If you haven't read them, I recommend them. The first one is The Millionaire Messenger, How to Make a Difference and a Fortune, Sharing Your Advice. His most recent is called The Charge, Activating the 10 Human Drives That Make You Feel Alive. And he also is the founder of a training program, coaching program called Experts Academy, which is basically a millionaire training for authors, speakers, coaches, seminar leaders, and online information marketers. And I could go on and on about how awesome Brendon is. Most of you already know that, and if you aren't aware of it, you're about to witness that for yourself here in today's special training call. So without further ado, due to limited time, let me just get it over to the one and only Brendon Burchard right now. Brendon, it's an absolute honor and pleasure to have you with us here today.
Man, my pleasure to be here, and thanks for helping me share my voice out here with these great folks. I'm really appreciative of that.
Awesome. Now, Brendon, here's the funny thing, and you've probably heard this. With where you are now, packing events with 800-plus people in the room, and people think, oh, well, of course Brendon can do it. He's got the Midas touch. Was there a time when Brendon Burchard was just a man with a dream? And would it be so like, to go back and share that actually, you may be or you may be on the line in a position where Brendan was just a few short years ago, where people didn't know who he was. They didn't hear his message. All he was a person like you with a dream, looking for ways to get his message out there. So I'm just curious if there's a backstory to the Brendan Burchard we know today.
Yeah, no, one, thank you for that, because that's a compliment hidden in there, but also, I'm the same as everybody on this line. I'm this guy who does have the dream of figuring out, how do I share what I know and who I am with millions of people, and how do I get paid for it? We all have that ambition if we're on the line today, if you were attracted to this title, and, I'm the same guy I was 5 years ago before doing, $5 million plus brands in the last 5 years that we've built. Today I'm probably a better and smarter and more intelligent marketer. I'll share some of that with everybody about how to get a message out there, how to build a brand, how to do all of that. But yeah, same kid with the same dream. My dream started when I was a 19-year-old kid. And for those who don't know me on the call, at the time I was in a pretty dramatic car accident when I was 19, and I was in another country. And it taught me, as I sort of crashed into death's doorway, almost literally, I kind of learned that at the end of our lives, when we sit there and we have a moment of cognition to reflect about our lives and what it's been about before we crash into death's doorway, we all wonder and think about basically the same three questions. And those questions, and trying to get those questions out into the world, are what started me on this whole quote-unquote expert journey. These are the questions I wanted to share with the world. And at some point, I decided I wanted to be sharing it, but I also wanted to be making an income and have financial freedom and have the lifestyle that I wanted. I know everybody on the line is in the same space. You've got some content or knowledge or wisdom or advice that you want to get out there. And how do you get it out there? How do you monetize it? That's what I was trying to figure out in a way, because what I learned was at the end, we're going to ask these three questions. And the questions are, first, did I live? It's like the first one. It's like, whoa, this is it. Did I live? Did I really live my life, vibrantly and passionately and joyously and cheerfully? Or did I go on a ho-hum through the day? And we wondered, did I love? Did I love openly and honestly and completely? Because you wonder who's going to miss you and who you're going to miss and who's still around you. And you wonder, did I matter? Did I make a difference? Maybe I didn't change the whole world, but did I change somebody's world? And that's kind of a soft topic when you think about those questions. It's not like how to put up an opt-in-page.com. It's like these are softer topics, and people were, telling me, though, when I'd share that story, because I'd say, wouldn't it be amazing if you knew the answers you're going to ask about your life at the end, if you knew those questions now, so that you could live your life strategically, intelligently, and joyously, so that the answers to those questions at the end of your life were answers that you were happy with, that you lived your life in a way that was just totally vibrant and caring and loving and focused on service and making a difference. Then how would you live your life so you can be happy with the answers? And people would say, wow, that's really cool. And I'd tell people about it. And I'm like, how do I tell more people about this? Because this made a huge impact in my life. And they'd say, well, write a book or be a motivational speaker. Maybe you can do some workshops and stuff out there, or, put some stuff up on the internet. And I had no idea how to do any of that, Tom. I was like, what? And it's not like, people often forget now, because Experts Academy has kind of become the place in the industry that you go to learn how to do all of those things of being an author, speaker, coach, seminar leader, online marketer, or thought leader. But there was no Experts Academy when I began. And so I had to struggle through, and I had to read everyone's books on how to get a message out there. I had to go to all these different seminars. I had to go to these different associations. I had to follow these different gurus. And, it took a long time to figure it out. But once I really dialed in, and I'll share the things that I've dialed in, the best strategies and lessons that I learned today on this call, when I learned those things and I put them into play, I went from a place where, I was bankrupt. I had tried a bunch of things, and I'd been really trying a bunch of different things, but it wasn't working. And, I just lost my shirt and literally went bankrupt. I had to move in with my lady, my girlfriend at the time, and we were broke. We were living in this tiny little apartment in San Francisco, and it was so small that the bed was actually kind of like my desk. And so, I'd write on there, just laying on the bed and sitting on the bed, and I'd have all my invoices and my bills and my vision boards on the bed. And one night, my lady comes in and she crawls under the bed sheets, trying not to disturb all the bills and invoices on the bed. And I'm writing, and I just see her, and I see my lady sleeping under the weight of my own bills. And I thought, this has got to change. This has got to change. I got to figure this out for her, for me, for my dream, for my message. Because I realized if you don't make the money, you can't sustain the mission. You can't sustain the message. You can't get the message out there further. You can't impact more people. You can't get more buyers. I mean, you just can't unless you learn how to make the money. And it was the first time in my life that I was like, wow, I really need to learn the financial piece of how all this works too. Not just how do I transform people's lives or give them good content and things like that or put products together, but how do I actually make sure that I'm making money with them? And it was a changing sort of psychological shift for me, and a very healthy one, towards realizing that wealth was something that should come along with sharing a wealth of knowledge. And once I figured that out, it's like, okay, I recommitted. I learned a couple of things we'll share today, Tom, and because of all of that, and many of us people saw in the last 5 years, every year for 5 years straight, I built $1 million brand out of scratch, out of nowhere, in a market that I was not in. 5 years, $1 million brand each year, following the same things we'll talk about on this line. And the same thing, I mean, literally, people say, what do you do? It's amazing. I'm like, I do Experts Academy. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, I just run the strategies that we teach at Experts Academy. They're the strategies that have been proven not just by me, but by the marketplace. They're the best practices of our time about what works to market your message, your story, your business, and to generate revenue from it. So, Tom, I'm still the kid with the dream, because all I'm trying to do is get my message out there as far and wide as I can, and have impact with it, and yes, influence and income too.
And there's so many gems that you shared in that story, but the whole premise of you sharing your message will hopefully allow people to not have to go through a near-death car crash, right? And then also not have their lady or significant other sleep under the weight of their bills. So is that part of what drives you to share Experts Academy and share this message so that others don't have to go through that down point that you just shared in your story? Yeah.
I mean, the thing that breaks my heart is when someone does finally come to Experts Academy and they say, you know what, I saw, I heard about this 2 years ago or a year ago, but I didn't sign up. And in the last 2 years, I've drove myself into the ground and created all this stress for me and my woman, or me and my husband, or me and my family, because I didn't take the action back then. I knew I should have. I mean, my worst fear is the people who are listening right now don't come to Experts Academy. Because then what you do is you go out and you spend another 2, 3, 4, 5 years trying a bunch of things you think work because maybe you read it in an ebook, or try a bunch of things you think work because you saw it, but you didn't understand the distinctions of what made it go. Or trying to get your message out there and realizing that it wasn't even the right message in the first place because you didn't know how to define your message and create a message to market match. So you spinned your wheels for 3, 4 years and you drove yourself into the ground financially. People keep doing that in our industry. And I go, why would you not invest in yourself at the beginning to get training, to shorten the learning curve? I mean, it's one of the great things I've done in my life is I'm always shortening the learning curve before I go into anything. It's kind of like, and people understand this in other parts of the world, in other industries. I mean, if you get a job in corporate America, when you start that job, you start with training. And they teach you how to do it well. Well, we don't have that benefit in the entrepreneurial world, so we have to continue our education by going to seminars or investing in products and programs like Experts Academy. And so once we do that, well, it's kind of like I say this. I'm from Montana, I'm kind of I'm a mountain kid. But we have this great saying. We say, the time to have the map is before you enter the woods. The worst thing you can do is wander in the woods and not know where you're going, not know which path to take, and then you wander around and you starve to death. And that's what a lot of people are metaphorically and literally doing in our industry. And it's like, guys, ladies and gentlemen, what you're trying to do has been proven. That road has been paved long before you walked it. Someone has already figured out the best practices. And what I did is, Experts Academy, a lot of people think it's just the Brendan show because I'm the front guy here. But what I did and what we do at Experts Academy is we study the best people in the world at the top levels of authors, speakers, coaches, seminar leaders, and online thought leaders. And we break it down to what have they done to build their brand? How did they find their message? How are they monetizing all of it? What products and programs they offer? What price points work? What marketing hooks, tactics, and messages work today? What mediums work today? What does it take to reach millions of people and make millions of dollars today? We study the best practices, and we report that there. So, yeah, well, it's me often talking. It's me sharing what is working, and we're giving examples and tactics and tools. And, I'm proud of the tactical level we go at Experts Academy, but there's also a transformational level that we're going to where we're taking people in a place where they finally find psychologically what they're really about and what they really want to do in this space, what message they really want to share, who they really want to serve. We take them into a place where now they know they're not alone, where they get accountability partners. They meet people who might become their promotional partners or guest experts on their products or programs, or maybe they become guest experts on their products and programs because the networking, the live event by itself is amazing. But I say all that because not just begin this program to enroll people in Experts Academy, which I hope they'll sign up for. I know you have an awesome bonus for them too during this call, but also to illustrate my story is the Experts Academy story too. I was where you were at. I was trying to figure all of this out. And I just say, don't spin the wheels for another couple years because the expense in spinning wheels is always higher than the investment it takes to learn what to do. And if people say, well, what's the change in my life at Experts Academy? It's very simple. You know what to do tomorrow. That's it. You finally know what to do tomorrow to generate more attention and revenue from who you are and what you know through multiple modalities, whether it's books or speeches or seminars or online content. Now you got it, because I just believe in competency. I believe if you know what to do and you know proven best practices, now you put your perspective, you put your personality, you put your fire and guts and glory in that thing, and that thing will light on fire, man. That thing will work for you. That thing will crush it. But if you just go out there and you throw stuff at the fan, which is what most people do, they end up broke. But when they come and they learn best practices and they follow a model, that's the value of continuing education. That's why, for me, I share the story now because that's what switched for me. That was the change. It was me struggling to do it myself, and then the switch was I started investing in my education. I mean, it's like because I read where Warren Buffett, they asked him what's the number one investment someone can make. And it was funny because I was reading Warren Buffett to learn how to get rich. And Warren Buffett says the best investment anyone can make is an investment in themselves. And I thought, man. And so it changed, and I started investing in myself. I went to the education. I went to the seminars. I took the online courses, and bam, 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 bam. From broke to 18 months later, I had made over $4 million in an 18-month period, starting from nothing. And it was like, whoa. And that's where, a lot of people say, well, Brendan came out of nowhere. They didn't see the decade before where I struggled and scratched and tried to figure it out. And then I had the breakthrough. And now we teach the breakthroughs at Experts Academy.
Wow. And you shared some more gems there. I took some notes, like you know what to do tomorrow. I mean, just thinking about that puts me back in the place when I didn't know what to do either. And that's where procrastination kicks in. That's where busy work kicks in. That's where unproductive activities kick in until you realize here's the best use of my time. Here's what's going to grow my branding. Here's what's going to grow my messaging, get in front of the proper prospects, convert those prospects to clients. Until you know, you don't know. It's like you don't know. What's that? Unconsciously incompetent. You don't know what you don't know. So
you know what most people are suffering from today?
What's that?
Especially in the online spaces, they're trying to build their brand online and get more customers and followers and buyers and better conversions. What most people are actually doing and experiencing every day, I call it browser blackout. That they go to the browser to start the business or maintain the business or get followers, and then it's like they almost had a blackout experience. They get drunk on distraction, and they wake up 4 hours later after 30 YouTube videos they've watched and, 10 Facebook people they followed and all this other stuff that they did that didn't get any results whatsoever. And they wake up and they're like, who am I? Where am I? What just happened in my last 4 hours?
I've never heard of that. That's perfect. That is so much what happens in our industry. You're absolutely right, because they don't know what the proper actions are. And Brennan, as you can hear as a listener, Brennan is super passionate about what he does, sharing his message and helping you get your message out in the proper manner so you know exactly what to do. So, Brennan, our intent today is to share, as the title said, the number one marketing strategy that led to your seven-figure business. And I don't know if I'm going to embarrass you, but it's not embarrassing. It's freaking awesome. I think you're at an eight-figure business. I think he does, maybe he'll share, maybe not, but roughly 7 figures per month, in essence, is what brings, all of his companies together, bring him 7 figures a month or close to that.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
I mean, that's just phenomenal to go from what you said, from 0 to $4.5 million in 18 months, and then build an 8-figure business with multiple brands in multiple niches, helping all those different people, whether they're authors, speakers, coaches, seminar leaders, online information marketers, or thought leaders. What are some of the strategies that, whether or not people move forward and make the obvious choice to team up with Experts Academy, get to the live event, access all the information that you're going to be sharing in a bit, what are some strategies that they can walk away from today that can help get them on that right trajectory so that they can learn what your marketing strategies were that built that 7-figure and now 8-figure business, and they have some actionable items they can take today as well?
Yeah, I'll tell you, and I'll go right to it because I know people. You've been with us. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, you already know. I'm passionate about Experts. I'm passionate about helping people do this. And the answer for what's my number one marketing strategy. This is everything, and it's going to sound so simple, but I always say, I don't care if you've ever heard my ideas before, because common sense isn't common practice. I want to know. Are you taking what you know in marketing, and are you making 6 or 7 figures at it? Or are you just kicking it around or looking around or thinking about it once in a while? That's what I want to know. It's not about how is it interesting, have you heard it from 10 people? It's, are you applying it, and are you applying the distinctions that make those things work? Because every great strategy has distinctions that make it work. That some part of that strategy has been, taught or shared, for millennium often, and especially in sales, right? I mean, it's been over, thousands of years we've been talking about how to sell people. Like, people understand selling. It's about what are the distinctions that work today, what sequences, what approaches. So the number one marketing strategy I've ever put in place is 2 very simple words. I got it on my lip, I'm sorry. Is value sequences. It's everything. It's a simple phrase. Value sequences. Everything that I do online, building rapport, relationships, getting prospects, getting access to new audiences, getting more followers, more buyers, and way higher conversions, value sequences. It can be as simple as an OVO. We call it Experts Academy, which is very simple. I'll break it down simply, then we'll give you some distinctions. Big picture, which hopefully you've heard before, and then we'll give distinctions, which hopefully makes us unique. The big picture with an OVO, which stands for Opt-in Value Sequence Offer. Okay, Opt-in Value Offer for short. Opt-in Value Offer. Very simple, right? Everyone's heard, I hope, on this line of an opt-in page, a squeeze page, a lead magnet page, whatever you call it. I just call it an opt-in page. People come to a page where they're greeted with a promise. And that promise aligns, especially if it's good, it aligns with what I call their ambition ascension line, or ambition line for short, which means you're promising something that they have an ambition for, and they can see by getting this thing, it will progress them up their ambition line towards being able to accomplish it. And so they see this promise, whether it's a free report or a free, what I always do, my secret is I tend to always give away 3 free in-depth training videos. That's my mark. That's my, sort of the hallmark of most of my opt-in pages over the last 5 years was 3 free in-depth training videos, right? 3. People love to learn in 3s. In-depth, free. They love free. In-depth. There's a lot of crap out there and a lot of things that are like 1-minute, 2-minute tutorials that don't teach people how to do anything. They want depth. They want training. So in-depth training videos and awesome videos is one element, obviously, of everything that I do, right? And it doesn't have to be you on video, by the way. If it's you on video, awesome, great. You're building a personality brand. If you don't want it to be you, then just do a screen flow and show your presentation. They can hear your voice, and they can see, obviously your bullets being revealed, or et cetera. But anyway, having the opt-in page is everything. Then the difference is most people, what they were doing in this industry, and they continue to do this today, Tom, it drives me insane, but, I feel, actually every time I see it, I'm like, I will be wealthy forever, is when people just start driving people to sales pages where there was no value offered up front. It's kind of like being on a date and trying to make out with somebody before you go to the movie. It's like, you don't do that. You build the relationship and the rapport. You romance, as Jeff Walker likes to say, right? You romance your prospect. And so what I do is when they opt in, deliver some great value for them, which I know some people are saying, yeah, got it. I don't care if you got it. My question is, are you doing it? Have you made 6 figures and 7 figures at it yet? If not, then it's time to tweak the opt-in pages or put one up or more up. It's time to now think about this next piece, the value sequence. Everything that happens for our conversions in our business is in the value sequence. The value sequence is where now we're going to give them what we promised them and more. And what we're going to give them is going to be value that they would pay money for. That when they watch that video, we get this comment all the time, Brendan, what are you doing? You could charge for this. Some of our videos are 30 to 45 minutes of training that I've charged thousands of dollars for before. And they know it. And they're watching, they're like, holy crap, this guy just gave me the 10-step plan? I mean, did he just give it to me like everything? It's not a hook. What happened in marketing is a lot of people were giving their first videos, their first content pieces, were really just sales pieces. They were all big hook, all big hype, all big opportunity. There was no training there. And I'm like, train people's face off right off the bat, man. Blow them away right there on the first thing. Don't wait for the 5th thing. You wouldn't go on a date and wait to show what a good person you are until the 5th date. You'd want to wow them right off the bat. And so wow them right off the bat with more value than they think they'd get. Even something they think, man, I can't believe this guy's got to charge it. Where they're like, I got to download it. I got to tell all my friends about it. I got to like this. I got to tweet this. I got to Facebook this. Is holy crap. And then what you do is it's not just one piece. We do a value sequence. And that value sequence, it's the same philosophies of a traditional product launch like Jeff Walker pioneered in some ways. We have our distinctions about doing it, but that same philosophy of adding a lot of value before you ask for a sale is important. And so what we do in the value sequence is use a specific set of psychology to not only over-deliver to people, but to create association with them, to create connection with them, to help them even get more clear about their future, to now be able to see the path for the first time about doing something, about understanding the first couple steps in that path, about realizing price juxtaposition, meaning the value of the content or the market, the value of what you bring, so that you're able to explain to them why you're an expert, why you get charged, why you charge for what you do, et cetera, why your brand is worth what it is, et cetera. And then after the value sequence, where you have delivered extraordinary value, something they would pay for, you've painted a vision forward for them that they didn't even know maybe was as clear as it is, that you've helped them understand what the first steps are, that you've helped them connect with you and connect with their ambitions and their future again, then you're going to make the offer. And then, of course, there's all these offers. We've done, probably more testing in the online information space in terms of the switching purposefully of psychological, of psychology in sales videos. And you can mark this by we've had 8 7-figure promotions online in a row. And I can share with you, we've kind of defined the psychology that it takes to make that happen. And we break that down at Experts Academy. We're like, hey, say this, then this, then this. Don't get those out of order. If you get them out of order, it brings down conversions by 6%, and we can prove it. We're one of the few people who has that kind of data because I've just done enough of these, and I'm kind of a, I'm kind of a data dork. And so And then you make the offer. And when you make the offer, you make it in a specific way, in a specific order, for a specific reason, and you get a specific result, which is high conversions. And so as simple as that sounds, opt-in, value sequence, offer, there's distinctions about how to do it even better that we've really honed in the last 5 years, and now I'd say we're getting better at it, every single time that we do it.
You got it pretty figured out. I think you'll catch on one of these days. I have hope. I have hope. 8 7-figure promos in a row following that OVO strategy. And it may sound trite, but under-promise and over-deliver is another way to simplify that statement, right? Under-promise. Well, you promise a big enough promise which will get them to take the action to give their name and email to see the video, but then you deliver way more than what you initially promised them, which was good enough already. They were excited for that, but you go overboard and under-promise and over-deliver to levels that your competitors don't.
Yeah, and what we've done, I think because of my weird I have a little bit of an analysis piece of me that people don't know about because they see the extrovert out there on the videos, but I'm kind of a data dork. And what I've done over the period of time that we've done this, we've tested so many things, but what I'm good at, one of my unique abilities, is codifying things, is seeing something happen and breaking it down into a framework, saying, oh, here's what's really happening here. Here's the essential, effective elements of that, and stripping away everything else, because everything else is just noise. But I'm able to pick that out and go, oh. So, for example, did you know to drive people to that opt-in page, there's only 7 ways to do it? There's only 7 ways to generate real traffic online to that, or generate not even just online. There's only 7 ways, period, to drive traffic to a web page. Once you know that, now you've got what I call the playbook. You've got the menu. It's kind of like walking to a restaurant. With no menu, you're kind of like you're ill-equipped. But once you have the menu, now you know what you can choose from and what you like. And part of my journey has been to be like, I just want to know, what is my universe of options? Like, tell me that. Like, what's available to me? And then which one should I put into play given my circumstances? Kind of like the waiter says to you, you say, well, what should I eat here? And they're like, well, what do you like? That's kind of what we're doing at Experts Academy. We're kind of like, hey, here's the whole universe. So Experts Academy, the way it begins is it's a 6-week online course. So we take you through 6 modules online. And the first one is all about, we really start working people into the big picture of all this. So we teach what we call the 4 Ps. We teach the 4 Ps are positioning. So how do you position yourself as someone that people should listen to? How do you position your story, your credibility, and your value to the marketplace so that they should pay attention, believe in, and buy from you? The second thing we teach is packaging. How do you package your knowledge, your information, your content into products, programs, and content that people will buy? Third, promotions. How do you think of, start, and launch creative and effective marketing campaigns? And then fourth, partnering. How do you partner with other people to share your message even more widely and get higher conversions? Now, those 4 Ps, I just said, I'm not reading a script here. I'm walking around my living room. I can share it with that articulation because I've been doing this. This is my life. I'm not reading anything. I'm just talking with you all. I live, eat, and breathe this stuff. I could talk about this all day long, as you're starting to experience. And, and so I say that because those 4 Ps, that's the big picture. We teach you that. And then we drill down. Once you know the 4 Ps, then we drill down into, okay, each of the domains. There's 5 domains you can make money with based on who you are and what you know. You can do it through books, so you can become an author, or ebooks. You can do it through being a speaker, a keynote speaker, or a platform speaker. You can do it through doing your live workshops and seminars. You can do it through becoming a life coach or a business coach, coaching others, whether individual or group coaching. And you can do it through online thought leadership, online marketing. Those are the 5 domains: author, speaker, coach, seminar leader, online marketer. And then what we do in the online course is we drill down to each of those. You don't have to go through all of them. Maybe you just want to be one of those. But I would say if you knew all of them, you'd be dangerous, which is how I've built the brand so fast, because I know all the modalities in which I can go out and kick some butt. And so that's the online course. It's very simple. It's straightforward. You get an email every single week. It walks you through the course. You just watch the videos. You take notes. But what's innovative about Experts Academy is two things. A, I'm in there with you. That's why we only open this class to promotional partners once a year, because I can only handle so many people, frankly. So I'm in there with you, and you can ask me questions, and every week I go in, usually on a Tuesday, and I reply to everyone's questions. Me, not my trainer, not my staff. You know, people access me in my coaching course for $45,000. But in Experts Academy, for 4 payments of $597, they can ask me questions not only through the 6 weeks they go through the class, but for an entire year. And it's me, not my staff or my trainers. It's me going in there every week, and I answer questions. So you go through the online environment for 6 weeks, and then you come to the live event. At the live event, you know, I take it to another level because now everyone is on the same page. They've got the fundamentals. They come to the live event, and now it's like we cover the fundamentals, then I show my most recent and best campaigns and advancements. We bring out extraordinary people. It's not some big pitch fest. Matter of fact, Experts Academy, it's 4 days. We've never had more than 4 offers, you know, at all, because usually it's very aligned. It's like, hey, guys, I could talk to you about this for 10 hours here, but I need the time on stage, so if you're interested in a course like that, I've got one to go over there. But it's not 17 speakers selling you a bunch of stuff. It's training. And the caliber of people, because of the tuition we charge to Experts Academy, the caliber of people, these people often become your promotional partners. They become the people who are doing, you know, doing something in an area of expertise where they can add content to your products, your programs, or maybe you become a guest expert on their stuff. The people are one of the reasons people sign up for Experts Academy, is just to go to the live event and meet extraordinary like-minded people who are also kicking some butt and starting out or already kicking some serious butt. There's often, you know, a couple, usually 2 or 3 dozen New York Times bestsellers in our audiences at Experts Academy. There's always the world's best speakers there. There's always, you know, people who are doing seminars that are generating, crushing it. And there's always online people who are just starting out and people who are doing 7 figures. They're all in the audience. And you network with them and you learn and you dream and you build accountability. And that's why the programs become so amazing, and that's why we have this amazing guarantee. We say if it's not the best training you've ever been to in the industry, period, then we'll give you your money back. It's that simple. You don't have to be just satisfied. You have to say, this sets the bar. This is the best I've seen on these topic areas, and if not, we happily reimburse you, because we're trying to set the bar at what we're doing, because I'm that passionate about this being good, because I don't want people to waste their time like I did. I want to know what to do, have them start out and kick some butt. I know I'm a little bit on a tangent, but I'm just passionate about this.
It's perfect. Keep on rolling. I mean, and here's the thing. Like, I have my playbook here while we're chatting, my Experts Academy playbook in my hands as we're talking. Tom, I wrote my name and dates on it. I would have forgotten which date because it was just 4 mind-blowing days of 800 or so people there, which, by the way, kudos for bringing the best people from around the world to one location. The people that I've met have been...
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, the people I met there are friends to this day. We have chats on a regular basis, and we help each other implement the stuff that you just mentioned, like you implement your Experts Academy. And similarly, I have the playbook here. I put the date, May 3rd through 6th, 2012. That was a life-changing time for me. And
wow.
And the many people that were at the event. And that's someone who already has had tremendous results. So I guess that's a point to bring up. Like, who is this for? Who's it not for? Like someone who's just starting out, where you mentioned you were a few years ago. The pile of bills on your wife's bed, or now your wife, your girlfriend's bed at the time, is that something that you would need? Like right now, how much would this have helped you if that was you with a dream but no results yet? You've tried a lot of things, weren't getting results. Is Experts Academy right for that Brendon Burchard 3 to 5 years ago?
Yeah, and I guess if the proof is in the pudding, not just from the 7 figures, but that girlfriend ended up being all crazy and married me. So
right. Proves your sales abilities too, right?
I know, it's like, come on. Yeah, I think we did something right, because honestly, there is a part of that that's just, I think, important for people to hear is we're going to teach you how to do this and do it in a way that your lifestyle is great. Because one of the things you're probably robbing yourself of right now is the time and the energy and presence you could give to your family if you weren't hustling so damn hard doing things that aren't working. And that's hard to say to people, but gosh, I remember someone said that to me, and I was like, dang, figure out what works so you have more time and energy and presence with your family and your friends. I mean, that's the reason that you invest in something like this. It's a big move for a lot of people I know, especially people who are starting out, to answer your question. You wonder, well, gosh, can anyone do this? I get asked that all the time. Or what my favorite one is, well, what if I'm not expert yet? What if I'm not an expert? Should I go to Experts Academy and go? And I start laughing and go, that's why it's called the Experts Academy. You go there to become one. Yes. But I share this. For those who are starting out, I can only say one thing. The time to have the map is before you enter the woods. Why not show up and learn the strategies that not only I started with and built an 8-figure business from, but that everybody in our industry started from. It turns out that everybody in our industry, everybody, is only doing 10 things. And on day one, we teach those 10 things. We go, no one's doing anything else but these 10 things. Once you know these 10 things and they happen in an order, then you're like, oh, I got this. Now you have your marching orders. The number one thing a guy starting out or a gal starting out to do this needs is the marching orders, the plan, the map. And so we give that. And then it just happens to be, it's kind of awesome because you're also in a room with a lot of people who also have been crushing at this. But why are they there? One phrase, best practices. The reason people come back to Experts Academy over and over and again, and why people I remember I'm up there one day and I'm looking down and I see this guy and I say to my staff, I'm like, who's that guy over there? And they said, oh, we'll go check it out. And it turns out it's Dr. Daniel Amen. And Daniel Amen has done over $30 million on public television. He's on PBS all the time. He's got 4 or 5 New York Times bestselling books, Change Your Brain, Change Your Body. I mean, this guy's a world-leading expert in neuroscience. And he's down in the audience, and he's got, a list of a couple 100,000 people. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy that he's here. Why is he there? Because he knows that at Experts Academy, I'm always revealing the fundamental best practices that everybody knows works as a plan, as a checklist. And I'm always revealing what's the latest stuff. What's the future? What's the next level? What's the proven campaigns that work today, yesterday, last month, and will work next month? It's cutting edge. And so that's why very experienced people come. I mean, you were there, Tom, and you're you're like a machine. You're a genius at this, but you invest in your continuing education, and that's why you're one of the world's best.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And Jim Rohn, one of my favorites from back in the day, unfortunately he passed away a few years ago, but shared some great wisdom that continues to serve, has a quote, he talks about how when you show up at an event, there's Rolls Royces in the parking lot, there's Ferraris, why would someone with a Rolls Royce be at this event to learn how to be better? Well, similarly, at Experts Academy, you have people in the audience doing 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, and more. Why? Because what Brendan said, best practices. And I'll throw in connections, Brendan, because the connections that I made there are going to pay huge rewards moving forward as well. So it's always good to find who are the people that are out there making things happen, and could there be any synergy where we just chat, see where each other is, and where we're looking to go, and how we may be able to assist one another in reaching new heights. So
people, like I said earlier, I do Experts Academy. When I attend Experts Academy, I'm attending too, in a sense of I'm teaching and I get to meet with people and meet with the VIPs and stuff. I mean, this is a great example. Just this, in this last 10 days, I've had someone I met at my event. Right? At my event, I met this person at my event, and this person has generated probably $100,000 in sales for me. I met them at my event. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm really proud of that this program has become that well known for the training, but also that networking. It's one thing to be known for doing something tactical, which I love, but to be someone who can help an industry and a person transcend their current reality and transform into another level of success, I'm proud of that too, because the energy in what we do is what people need, because a lot of people know what to do, but they just can't get out of their own way. They can't overcome their fear, their barriers, their psychological blocks. So we're knocking those things down with axes at Experts Academy. It's like, look, here's the excuses you're going to give yourself. Here's where you're going to get distracted. Here's the wormhole you're going to fall down, because I've gone down those holes before. We're not going to let you go down those. We're going to give you a clear, straight path to success at this. Your job is to walk it.
Exactly. And knowing which step to take, which I'm holding my manual once again as we talk. that shows you exactly how to do it. You get that at Experts Academy. I love the way, Brennan, you have the fill-in-the-blanks type of scenario. So you're there, you're engaging. It's not just a blank sheet where you're wondering what to write down and making sure you don't miss any notes. You have it there in a nice format, which is easy, fill in the blanks, to get the wisdom that you're sharing from stage and have your experts share from stage. And you walk away, as I have here, with this guidebook, with this menu of the 10 things that the marketers are doing that are really crushing it, the 7 ways to drive traffic, the 4 Ps that you mentioned while you were saying it. I flipped to the page. It's right in the beginning there. It's got the 4 Ps, you know, so, and with the 3 under it, the 3 other Ps, the purpose, the presence, and the profit. So it's real. This is how it works, and the leaders are making it happen in that way. And the cool part is I talk to people who are just getting their dream and their vision and their message figured out. They didn't really know how and where they were going to make a difference. They just knew it was their time to make a difference. So they started where they are. How important is it to start where you are? To not wish you were Brennan Chard or not wish you were Tom Beal. You are who you are. How important is that?
It's everything. You know, because here's the funny thing about that is people flip it and make it a bad thing. They're like, well, here's what people say, Tom. They say it all the time. You hear it. They go, well, who am I? You know, who am I to get my message out there? Who am I to be the expert? Who am I to share my wisdom with the world? Who am I? Nobody knows me, you know, but we all started there. Let me share some data that we just finished as a study for Experts Academy that we're revealing in our next event. And by the way, people ask about our live event dates all the time. We have 2 a year, May and September. When you sign up for Experts Academy today, you can go to either one you want, either the May or the September. You get 2 dates to choose from, and you just go. And and you'll get the full dates once you register for the course. We release it once you sign up. You can see the dates. But one thing that we're going to reveal at this next one is we just completed a study. It took me about 6.5 months to finish it. And it is a study of the world's most subscribed to and followed individuals. So the most subscribed to people on YouTube and the most fanned people, as an example, or friended persons, followed persons on Facebook. What is it that they did to begin? What did they do to build their momentum? And what have they done to sustain it and monetize it? The good news is I know most of those people now. You know, many of them, actually 4 of them, have been to Experts Academy. And so I've gotten under the hood of, like, what are they doing? And here's just a little preview to them. Like, no one knew any of these people, any of them. But here's what, on a common basis, they all did. They all started posting content. And when they first started posting content and putting themselves out there, nobody watched, nobody cared, nobody followed, nobody bought. That's the common journey. But their uncommon journey is they kept at it. Their consistency outdid their competitors. It wasn't even that they had the best information or were the funniest or were the best at what they did. They kept at it, and they developed it. Many of the, for example, the top YouTube folks in the world, many of them, if you look at their track record for the last 2 years, they were all posting at least 1 video per week, every week, for 2 years. But when you go back 2 years ago, they barely had any followers. And now they're at literally millions of subscribers. It's consistency of believing in yourself. I don't care if you believe in yourself if you wake up today in the morning. I care do you believe the next day, the next day, the next day, the next 10 days. And that can be taught. You can learn how to believe in yourself more. If you are your own hindrance, then you better get your butt to Experts Academy, right? Because we've got to deal with that. We've got to take that axe, that psychological thing that's keeping you from realizing the value of your own voice. Because your insecurities about yourself are not market data, meaning your insecurities about yourself, they're not the real world. The real world is every single day highly compensating people who put their information out there in strategic, intelligent, and value-driven ways. Every day, people are making money at this. Every day, all around the world. There's no reason that you can't start out at this. The only hindrance is if it's you, then it's time to get out of your way because your insecurities are not what the market is really doing. It's just like, well, the people who say, well, I don't want to invest in the marketplace because, I don't know anything. Well, if they don't begin, look, we just lost one of the great motivators of our industry, Zig Ziglar. And Zig said this, You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Absolutely. Love Zig. Fortunate enough to spend some time with him. Awesome motivator for my life, for sure.
Wow, that's so cool. I never got to meet him.
That was blast.
I've seen him a ton of times, but I never actually just got to sit down and be a dude with him.
I'll tell you one story personally. I'll share it briefly. After September 11th, 2001, I was sitting with him October of 2001, less than a month after that event happened, and that was probably a life-changing point for me when everyone had that uncertainty on, knowing what and where to do next. And I was a publisher of a book selling advertising, and Zig told me, look, that brought us to our knees, but that's where we're strongest. And that's the summary of that conversation. But it helped give me the hope and strength to just strap my boots on and go back out there when there was uncertainty in the world, uncertainty in the marketplace. And Zig let me know the best thing you can do, he's like, it's your duty to show these terrorists that didn't stop us. Kind of like at the end of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, where they're still singing at the end. He's like, it's your duty to go out there and continue your business, to sell. That's what will show them that they didn't hurt us as bad as they thought.
Dang right. I love that.
Awesome.
I love that. Yeah, overcoming your fears and doing this. And by the way, just there's a piece to that I know you and I both relate to, which is there's a service part to all of this. Mm-hmm. And I hope people hear it when I say that, I'm guiding my life based off did I matter. Mm-hmm. And the service part is there is, I know a lot of people have fear about putting their message out or starting this kind of thing, but here's the way I look at it, is at some point, maturity in life and in business comes from the point in which now you can get over yourself in service to something greater than yourself. And see, it's not like I don't have fear. I have fear all the time. I'm kind of like, in my mind, I want to be like Bruce Springsteen. Springsteen says, behind the concert curtains, that before every single show, he feels like he's going to throw up. And they're like, still? He's like, oh, absolutely. He goes, matter of fact, the day I don't feel like I am going to throw up, that's the day I should retire because I don't care anymore. Mm. I was like, yeah. And, you get this maturity and you get this decision to start and to commit to yourself and do something extraordinary. That happens the day that you go, you know what? Yeah, maybe I'm worried about this. Maybe I'm worried about myself. Maybe I don't know if I can do it. But get over yourself, because what if you could put a message out there that transforms somebody's life, that helped them achieve a goal or move closer to their dream? When you're more attached to helping people like that, let me tell you what, you will crush it in this industry. Because I don't need to do this anymore. People are like, why are you still teaching Experts Academy? Hire a bunch of trainers, let them do it, and you go off and sit in the Caribbean. Because I love being in that room and being in this program and seeing people have that moment where they transform, where they realize, whoa, I could do something here. Get over myself. Like everybody who's listening right now, you can make a tremendous amount of impact and income in this world when you get over yourself and realize that if you would just offer some helpful information out to the world, that the world will respond. The market will respond. That as you add value to the market space in the way that we teach, that now the perception of who you are and the value you add rises. As that rises up, you get paid more. It's an inarguable at the marketplace. Those in any given field who are adding the most value in thought leadership are always the highest paid. My job is to teach you how to do that. And I teach you how to do that through the Experts Academy online program. In 6 weeks, boom, you got it. And then you come to the live event, bam, you go even further and you meet a bunch of people who open up even more doors, and this becomes the year that changed your life. And that's what we're inviting you to. I know, Tom, we got to hop off at the top of the hour, and you've got some bonuses and things of why they should go to Experts Academy because you believe in it. And I'll just add this. I wouldn't be in there for a year with you in this online environment if I didn't believe that you could do this. And I know that you'll face struggles and challenges doing any new thing, and that's why I'm in there to coach you, to take your questions on a weekly basis. Again, I usually go on a Tuesday and just answer all the questions because I know you'll need that advice and guidance as you're going through. So as you're going through the course, it teaches you how to monetize your advice and guidance. You got the guy who's monetized it more than anyone else teaching you how. So I hope you'll enroll in Experts Academy today. We'd love to have you. We expire tonight at midnight tonight. It's done. Our class of 2013 will be full and closed tonight at midnight. we'd love to have you get in there because I don't want you to wait another year to figure out how to share your voice, your message, monetize your content, your knowledge, your wisdom online. It's like, figure this out today. Let us start with you. You've got till tonight at midnight. We'd love to have you.
Yep. Awesome. And where you can get it, if you're on the URL that had the dial-in information, you can hit refresh, and you'll see a button there that will bring you to this URL. So you can register right now for Experts Academy. And as soon as I share this, I will share the bonus that Rich and I are going to give you for making that choice, which we believe in. And as you know, Rich, you know myself, and Strategic Profits. If we didn't believe in Experts Academy or Brendan or what he delivers, we wouldn't be sharing this with you right now. But we believe in it so much, I'm going to share with you the bonus that you'll get in addition to Experts Academy as a perfect complement to help you make that trajectory turn in a much faster, efficient manner as well. So right now, go to this URL, strategicprofits.com/EA. EA, the letters E and A for Experts Academy. So strategicprofits.com/EA, and that will bring you to the URL that's tagged to us. And this is very important. You'll get there, and I'm just going to type it in to make sure it brings me to the right spot, strategicprofits.com/letter EA. It's going to redirect you using our specific link that then Brendan's going to notify us that you purchased through our URL. And when that happens, when we get that list, you're going to gain access to 2 kick-butt programs that are going to absolutely transform your results. And one of them is called the Maven Marketing 2.0 Coaching Program. So this is something that Rich did with Jay Abraham, the legend of marketing, a few years back that is still pertinent to this day, and clients send us testimonials of how this helps them position themselves as that maven in their marketplace. So helping you get higher sales, higher conversions, higher relevance in your marketplace, ability to charge higher fees for your services as that maven in the marketplace. So there's tons of things that will help you move the prospects who are on the fence over to being committed buyers, low-cost marketing techniques that work most effectively in damaged economies, how to maximize profits in time like these when buyers are uncertain, and the list goes on and on. There's tons of value that Jay and Rich share in that Maven marketing program. And there's details. If you're on that URL that gave you the dial-in details, you click refresh, you'll see all the ins and outs of Maven marketing there. And the other thing
is so awesome, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's worth the investment in Experts Academy alone. I mean, to have access to Rich and Jay like that, because I know what that program's about. I mean, that will blow your guys' mind.
Yes, thank you. And then the next one is pretty cool. This is actually something that happened this past year. It was phenomenal. We purchased a whole bunch of live stream equipment, and we invited Jay to our office. So Rich and Jay did a 3-day live stream training. So they're here in the office next to mine, and you're going to see them sharing the wisdom that goes really deep, and it isolates some powerful catapulting moves that have accounted for Jay's personal success and the success of his A-list clients. And during the 3-day event, they brainstormed some new outside-in marketing theory that Rich has been working on and broke some new ground on this concept live. And then both Rich and Jay responded to questions that plague entrepreneurs, including how to get over the fear that may be blocking their success. Jay and Rich also gave an in-depth response to the question every entrepreneur asks at some point: how do you get clients to pay for your services? And Rich and Jay's combined wisdom on how to create real extreme value for your prospects and clients that will keep them coming back for more. So that was 3 days of Rich and Jay brainstorming, talking with clients live on camera, and it was phenomenal. And that's another person. That was the first time I got to hang out and just chill with Jay, and he is a solid person as well, with marketing knowledge that just blows away, I think, any living being alive. He's pretty wild.
Wow.
So you're going to want to get that. That's a $5,000 value that you're going to get. And as mentioned, that alone, if you were going to invest in yourself, that alone would be worth the price of Experts Academy. But you get that in addition to Experts Academy, in addition to the Maven Marketing Coaching, in addition to the live event. So you're going to get all of that. And then one of the things that were so amazing inside those 3 days with Jay, Rich did something that actually people had been asking him to do for years, and this was the first time he did it, and it's on video. He goes in and breaks down his $1 million free report formula. So, like I said, for years people have been begging him to do this, and so in part of that 3-day training with Jay, Rich went in and broke down how he's produced over $15 million in sales from his reports like the Manifesto, the Missing Chapter, the Attention Age Doctrine, the Entrepreneurial Emergency, and the list goes on and on. So he reveals the customer discovery process he goes through to figure out exactly what's going on in his prospects' heads. So this one process led to many of the ideas you see in the Internet Business Manifesto and other powerful free reports. And it's how Rich sold over $3 million worth of a system that no one realized they needed until Rich started teaching it. So this thing here is, in and of itself, another extreme value, that in sharing your message, how Rich built this company, Strategic Profits, how Rich became the guru to the guru, how he was able to help his initial 25 clients do $40+ million of extra business within 18 months. And it's all based upon him writing a free report, and he shows exactly how he does that. So now in your sharing of your message, you're going to gain access to that and add that to your repertoire and tools in your toolbox to help you get that message out in a profitable manner, making a difference in people's lives. So those are the three things that Rich and I have put together that we feel is a perfect complement to what you're going to get in Experts Academy, as Brendan already shared with you. And simply just by going to strategicprofits.com/EA, the letter E, the letter A, will bring you to the order page. We'll be tagged as the person referring you to that purchase, that investment in yourself. And once we get that list from Brendan, you're going to get access to these three life-changing products as well, in addition to everything that Brendan's going to give you. So that's how much we stand behind this. We know that it works. I'm holding the guidebook from Experts Academy here. Here in the headquarters of Strategic Profits, I review this when I'm preparing to brainstorm and put together campaigns and put together sequences that will help us get our message out and will help us make the profits necessary to live the lifestyle that we are desiring and deserving. And that only occurs when we help our people get the results they're searching for. So Brendan is the man. Experts Academy is the plan for you to get your message out to the world in a manner that's efficient, effective, and works across the board. So, Brendan, what else can you add? You mentioned that.
I can't add anything to that, man. That's extraordinary. If people don't believe all of that and everything I've learned to, build this business and get my message out there, from best-selling books to speeches to seminars to all the online content monetization strategy, if that's not worth 4 payments of $597, then I don't know what is. I honestly don't. So that every single component of what you said, I'm writing down. I'm like, what would I pay for that? Even if I was beginning, what is it? And it adds up to so much value and continuing education where you're going to have the map. You're going to know exactly what you guys need to do, and this is the time to start it. Don't wait another year. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. So click the link or do whatever Tom's going to tell you to do, but this is the time. I'd love to serve you and help you out there. Tom, I appreciate your time so much today, and you and Rich and this support. This is extraordinary, and I love your audience because they're committed, they're achievers, they're ready to rock and roll, and I'm happy to serve with them.
Yes. So if you know this is your time, this is your year, your message is ready to be put in the marketplace, Experts Academy can help you. In addition to that, you're going to gain all the bonuses that I described, the Maven Marketing 2.0, the 3-day live training with Rich and Jay, which includes Rich's multi-million-dollar free report. All you need to do to gain access to all of that is go to strategicprofits.com/EA. And keep in mind, as Brendan just shared, that expires this evening. You gain access to him. Every Tuesday he goes in and answers your questions. You gain access to him, and this expires tonight. So it's decision time. The value's there. It's up for you to start where you are, take the proper steps, get this guidance so that you can get your message out there, make a difference, make an impact, and make a living that supports the lifestyle you know you deserve and desire. So thank you, Brendan, for taking your time out of your busy day. Thank you, listeners. Thank you for being here right now. That means a lot to myself, and I'm sure Brendan. We're looking forward to hearing your success stories from the information that we provided today and the information you're going to gain in Experts Academy, combined with the bonuses that we're going to give you for making that choice. So go now to strategicprofits.com/EA. We look forward to hearing your success stories soon.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Brendan. We'll talk with you soon. All right, everybody. Now's the time. Bye, Brendan. Go to strategicprofits.com/EA. If you have any questions, you can reach out to our support team, either support@strategicprofits.com, or you can talk to our Director of VIP Relations at Adam@strategicprofits.com, ADAM@strategicprofits.com. Rich and I obviously can say Experts Academy is amazing. And in addition to it being amazing, gaining access to the Maven Marketing 2.0 coaching program, the 3 days with the live training with Jay, as well as Rich's multi-million-dollar free report formula, that as a combination is exactly what you need to get your message out there, to make a difference in your community, to make a difference in your sphere of influence, and also make the lifestyle a reality that you know you deserve and desire. So thank you for choosing to be on here with us today. I look forward to hearing your comments, your feedback, your success stories. Until we chat again, make today great. Bye for now, everybody. Open up the line. Bye for now, guys. Have a good one. See you later.